an Unspoiled Network podcast.
This is Unscrupled, covering Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 7.
Dun, dun, dun.
Episodes 1 and 2. What are they called?
They are called... Lessons and Beneath You.
Lessons and Beneath You, if you didn't catch that. In these episodes, Buffy is taking a weird turn, and I'm kind of into it. Welcome to Unscrupled. So, who the fuck are you?
I'm Bitches, and who the fuck are you?
I'm Money, and together we are... Bitches and Money. So, we are on the final season of Buffy.
Yeah.
I have to talk some spoiler stuff, in that some of you inconsiderate jerks in the Patrons Only group have said things like, I even like Season 7. Which... very much suggests to me that Season 7 is not good. However, I have also heard that Season 1 is not good. And I liked Season 1. So, 1, stop doing that shit. And 2, fuck you. You can't spoil me because I like things when I shouldn't.
That's true.
Yes.
That may be the basis of our entire relationship.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, this is a different vibe I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm not feeling?
What?
Giles on a horse. That did not need to happen. It served no purpose, and the horse probably had better things to do.
You know what? They're in England. He can ride a horse. It's gonna be okay.
You can establish that they are in England by putting at the bottom of the screen in white text, England.
Yeah, without putting a horse in.
You don't need a horse.
You know what? There's a lot of things we don't need in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I feel like the horse is probably the smallest of those concerns.
It's just like, why? He's alone. There's no other horses for him to play with.
I'm sure there are at the stables. He's probably enjoying some, nice walk time with Giles.
Sure. So, yeah. A lot happens in these episodes.
Oh, yeah.
I was wrong about a few things.
Okay.
1, Willow is in England. I did not see that coming.
She had to go to rehab.
But how do you get someone who needs to be in rehab to keep their shit together for a 14-hour flight plus...
Knock her out. Benadryl. What? I can sleep for 14 hours if I have the right meds.
Okay. Yeah. And Sunnydale High has been rebuilt.
Yeah, it has.
Which is shockingly quick, considering that, just 2 finales ago, we saw that shit, hadn't been touched, still charred, smoking ruins.
Well, I mean, if you've got a motivated contractor, it should only take about a year to build a school. I don't know anything about this. I'm pulling these stats square out of my butt.
I've seen, school expansion is a big thing in San Antonio. I don't know why they keep building more schools, but they do. And it takes a lot longer than a year.
Okay.
So.
Well, they had at least 2, so.
Yeah. So, Dawn is having her first day at high school.
Yeah, she is.
And Buffy is... this opens with them training on killing vampires.
Yeah, well, Dawn's been, for a while, trying to say that she wants to patrol and she wants to, know how to do it and all the things. So Buffy's like, okay, you want this? Let's go. And
I think there's also...
tutorial.
She needs to not repeat the mistakes she made with Joyce.
Yeah.
Which is keeping her, keeping Dawn away from trouble and hiding her from the world isn't working.
Yeah, the whole keeping your Slayer life and your family life separate thing has just really gone poorly in every possible way. So she's trying something new, and I support her.
And it's also a good, we've been over this. I don't like Dawn as a character, but I kind of liked her in these episodes, seeing her grown up, taking responsibility, and just like, it reminds me of the show was Jericho, where this super spy dude, his wife is like, look, bitch, the world has gone to shit. I am your wife. I do not want to be married to you, but we've got kids, and I need to be able to protect you. And them. You know why? Because I care about them. I don't care about you. I care about them. So, that means you gotta be fucking honest with me, and I will keep your secrets, and I will kill people for you, because that's what we need to do to protect our kids.
Because that's a strong marriage.
Yes. It's they had just gotten a divorce right before the bombs went off, too.
Oh, shit.
Like, he basically kidnapped them and took them to one place he knew that the radiation couldn't reach, so...
Well, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, berate him on that.
Yeah. So, but it's a good attitude, and I kind of feel that kind of thing coming through. It's like, look, Dawn is in this shit. It is not helpful for you to try to protect her, because you can't do that all the time. You need Dawn to be able to take care of herself, because it's not the people who are protected that survive in Sunnydale. It's the people who are ready for shit.
Yeah, the people who protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So I'm kind of here for Buffy coming through as a mentor figure. I think she'd probably do a better job of it than Giles. And it's a natural progression because Buffy is probably at the 99th percentile of Slayer longevity at this point. Even though she's died twice.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. She started when she was like 15. She's in her 20s now, so that's a hot 7 years. I don't know.
We don't have any data points on how long Slayers usually live,
I'd really love to see those, though.
Yeah.
If there's like a Watchers Council spreadsheet or something I could go to a website and download, I'd be really into that.
I'm kind of wondering, like, are there any Slayers that get, like, activated, but they don't have Watchers, or they just don't do anything about it, so word doesn't spread that they're a Slayer, and they just live long, happy lives and don't do anything about it?
And are just weirdly strong?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could join professional wrestling.
Something. Or work construction.
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say? But I haven't heard anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the show doesn't say no to it either. So in your headcanon, it can be whatever you want.
It sure can.
Yep.
So I'm kind of here for this. Like, this is a natural outgrowth. And normally I'd say, like, no, you're just retreating to your comfort zone. But you're also putting a spin on it that I think kind of works.
Mm-hmm. So, let's see. What else is happening in this episode? Xander's doing more construction.
Xander is doing more construction because, like, the school is, like, there's still places that need to be built, but it's open.
Yeah. They've got most of it done.
Mm-hmm. And it looks like a new set, too. It doesn't look like the same school, unless I'm just not remembering. Well,
everything's all shiny, too. Like, the lockers aren't, you know, beat to shit like you get at regular schools.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about Willow, because she doesn't really do anything.
Well, she has a panic attack.
Yeah, so she's, apparently she's been staying with the Coven, and they're giving her rehab, and I kind of, like, I'm not sure what's going on.
She channeled so much magic that it's now an inherent part of her as a being, and so she can't walk away from magic anymore. She has to use it responsibly because she can't be a normal human anymore.
Okay.
So when she makes that flower and Giles comes up to her and he's like, that doesn't belong here. She's like, I know, it's just pretty. He's like, so what have we learned about how we manage magic? It's like, maybe don't just do shit for the hells of it, or maybe things. And by the way, are my friends going to completely reject me because I'm like a murderer now? And yeah, they have that fatherly heart to heart.
That was that part of that conversation that I'm just not into. Like, I'm a murderer now. You had every right to kill Warren. And you didn't
Doesn't make it not murder, though.
I think I'm the only one on Earth who gives a shit about Rask because he had not proved himself to be a shitty person. So.
Yeah, but okay. Just because it's justice, that, like, doesn't make it okay to kill people.
I'm not buying it.
And that's, like, it makes it okay for, like, you and me to still accept her as a person. And I'm pretty sure her friends are going to be down, too, because that's how we feel as a society. But killing people isn't okay, even when they're, like, really, 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 really bad. You're still a murderer afterward, even if it makes the world a better place.
I feel like this is all a social construct that just doesn't fucking matter in this universe. So, like, we had the whole...
Killing is cheap here.
Yeah, like, people die all the time. These people spend a lot of their waking hours saving as many people they can. Sometimes they fuck up. And so when we have these moments like Willow killing Warren or Faith killing this random asshole by accident, it's like you've crossed this line. Like, these lines are arbitrary in this scenario. Like, I get it how we need our society to function, but here's the problem. Our society is not capable of handling this level of shit going on.
That's
so,
fair.
like, there are different rules here.
Okay. Well.
So, I just, like, they're trying to shoehorn this thing, like, it's such a big deal that she's killed someone. I didn't buy it with Faith, and I don't buy it now.
It's kind of also, they don't talk about it directly, but what they're secretly saying is that intentions matter, and her intentions were vengeance, rather than, like, you know, some kind of betterment of society. And honestly, if there's something we're going to call bullshit on, I'm going to call it on that. Intentions don't mean shit.
Yeah, they don't.
If you accidentally blow up the world, but your intentions were good, I don't give a fuck. Don't fuck around with stuff that's big, even if you have good intentions. Just don't do it.
It's why I can never really enjoy Batman ever. Because they've set this hard and fast rule, and, like, I'm pretty sure Spider-Man has the same thing. But it's just, like, it reminds me of my favorite Mass Effect
Wait,
quote.
time out. Which rule do they set in Batman?
You can't kill people?
Oh.
Yeah, that rule.
Define people.
But that reminds me of my favorite Mass Effect quote. And it's, stand in the ashes of a trillion dead and ask the ghosts if honor matters. The silence is your answer.
That's fair.
Yeah. They are literally fighting the forces of hell. There are going to be casualties. And sometimes Warren was a terrible person. He was a rapist. He was a murderer. And, like, the world is better without him. The world is safer without him. There are more good guys because he is dead. He will kill fewer people. And, like...
Okay. Let's take this to the next conclusion, though. Should they have let her to continue to kill?
I mean, no.
Okay.
But she did
Just checking.
kill... Like, she killed Rask. If she was feeling bad about Rask, I would get it. But, like, the world is not gonna... That's the one that's bothering me more, because, yeah, Rask is coded as this terrible, like, predator, but he gave people exactly what they asked for. He was completely above board about what he wanted and what he was giving and what he was taking. So I'm like, he's the one she should feel guilty about, but we know it's not about him. So.
Yeah. Okay. All of that is fair.
And I don't miss Rask. I'm fine with her killing him. So the world is probably better off without him, even though he, like, had a weird consent thing.
Yes.
Like, where he had consent and wasn't tricking anyone. I expected there to be, like, oh, it's just a little, you'll get over it, to lie about what the effects of his magic/drugs do, but he didn't do that.
Yeah, he said, BT dubs, this'll be intense. Bam.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, as far as drug dealers go, he looked scary and stuff, and he was scary and stuff, but he really was straight with people. And honestly, if you can't see what you're getting into from the from that waiting room, then you're kind of an idiot.
Right, but then there's just this kind of ethereal scarlet letter that you're supposed to be branded with if you kill another human being, and I'm just not having it. It doesn't...
That's totally fair.
If Willow had truly gone fucking Carrie with this shit, I could understand this reaction.
Okay.
I have a theory, which may or may not be validated by the text of this episode.
I just want you to know that at least 30 people listening to this podcast after you said, I have a theory, said, it could be bunnies.
Okay.
Anyway, go on.
I think they're lying to her because they need her. Huh. Because something is rising. And when the fight with Glory was going down, Buffy specifically said, "You are my big gun." And this is a political calculation that, like, yeah, Willow is flawed, and her flaw is something I don't find narratively satisfying, but we also need this powerful witch. We need allies, however unsavory they may be. All right. So...
Well, they do... that something is indeed rising. It's one of the things Willow notices, and she's like, so, Giles, you taught me that magic connects everything. This is kind of heinous, and yeah, not everything magic connects is good, as it turns out. Mm-hmm. And yeah, something's coming, but something's always coming, so...
Yeah, something is always coming, but This pair of episodes actually did a much better job of putting this is a big fucking deal behind what they're doing.
Okay. Yep.
I hope they can maintain it. They did not do a good job of this with Glory.
No,
they
did not.
She's a god, and I'm like...
And then they had a bunch of episodes about, like, the Crusaders and, like, other random shit. They really fucked up their follow-through on that one.
Right. Giving it kind of amorphous and leaving it in the background for now, I think is better at building tension. Whereas I kind of feel like when there's a big deal later, when they're building up, like, they throw things at us, and, like, in one episode we're supposed to adjust to, oh, this is how it works and now this is a problem. Like the magic as drug addiction thing. Yeah. It's like they threw this at us, and it's the very first time we're supposed to process this thing. There's no foreshadowing. There's no character development. Well, there's character development, but there's no foreshadowing or any hint that magic addiction is a thing until it becomes necessary for the plot, you know? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a certain show where a certain person doing a certain thing is necessary for the plot, but there's no build-up to it.
Are you referring to
the
oh, guys,
the sport of chairs?
Yes, the sport of chairs. Ugly chairs. And yeah, we're pretty salty about that, but this isn't that podcast, so we'll be moving right along.
Yeah, so what I'm trying to say, guys, is this is I am actually excited about this. I think this is playing out well.
Oh yeah. So. I'm stoked to see what happens, as though I don't know what happens, but I think this is... I'm really excited for you to see this season. I think they do a lot of interesting things that I cannot wait to talk about. Okay.
Because I was a little afraid with those, like, peppered comments here and there that you were gonna ask to do a megasode.
No. The show changed some things. And frankly, having watched all of these damn episodes for the last several years... I can honestly say in retrospect, some things needed to change. It was getting stale. Yeah. So some things are changing. We've got new characters. We've got new sets. We've still got high school, but it's from a grown-up perspective. Mm-hmm. I'm so stoked, guys.
Okay, so let's talk about... We had 2 of these, one in each episode, of a young woman being chased by mysterious shrouded figures.
With knives.
Uh-huh.
What do you think's going on there?
I think these are potential slayers.
Interesting.
I think they're being hunted.
What makes you say that?
The fact that they're women of very young childbearing age who are hot and run fast.
And somehow know how to hit people.
Yeah.
Guys, hitting people is hard. You can bust a hand on that shit. Or a knee or a foot or whatever. Like, seriously, fighting, if you don't know how to do it, you could break a wrist or a thumb.
It just gave me this vibe. Like, these women are on the run, and there's clearly no sexual intent. This is not a political assassination. This is someone who lives in Buffy's world.
Okay.
So I think these might be the Kendra-esque acolytes in waiting.
Okay.
So.
That's a decent theory. I'm impressed with that theory.
So, yeah.
Let's see. What about Anya?
Let's get to Anya in the second episode.
Okay.
Because she's, because most of her stuff comes late.
Couple different things happened in this first one, though. So, well, we can talk about it then.
What did Anya do in the first one?
She's having her coffee date with Halfrek, and Halfrek's, like, doing a little intervention.
Yeah.
Trying to tell her, girl, your curses are not up to snuff lately, and people are getting a little annoyed. And Anya's like, well, all my friends should be here for this intervention. And Halfrek's like, babe, all your friends are here. That was
cold.
That was cold, but seriously, sometimes people need that little bit of tea. They need the tea.
Can we replace Halfrek? Can we replace Kermit with Halfrek?
Totally.
With the
like, girl, all your
internet, make that happen. I don't know how to use Photoshop.
I do. We can make a meme. It'll be fun, and then we'll play Mario Kart.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah, I totally sympathize with Anya here. She's been living as a human for a while. She's been fighting the forces of evil. And now she's in the evil adjacent place again where her KPIs are not a number of lives saved, but number of amount of damage caused.
For those of you unfamiliar with the term KPIs, that means key performance indicators, and is commonly used in a business setting as a way to judge people.
Yes.
Ding!
It is one of our worst inventions.
Yes,
so.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah.
I want to talk about why they're terrible, because KPIs are, like, very often based not on what makes you a good employee, but what is most easily measured. That is why the SAT is on math and reading.
Because those are easily measured.
Those are easily graded.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I don't mind KPIs because then I can game the system. If I know how you're measuring me, I can just perform to those measurements and half-ass the rest.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, Anyanka here is not doing great on her KPIs. The misery she's producing is subpar. And so she decides that she's going to kick it up a notch.
So she's only been a non-demon for...
It was like 6 years.
Not 6 years. It's been...
She was season 2.
No, she did the...
Oh, yeah.
It was season 3 when she did the Wishverse.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, 4 years.
So it's been 3.5 or so years.
Yeah, like, not very long.
At first I was mad because, like, hey, she's been a human, she's had her heart broken. But then I sat back and thought about it, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Her career has spanned 1,000 years.
Yeah.
So 3 years off, that's like a long vacation.
That's like a weekend.
They expect you to get right back into running shit because you're now relaxed and you've had some experiences and you're more interesting at the water cooler, you know?
Yeah, like she should have some great creative ways to torture menfolk now. But no, she's like making them French and shit.
I think that is a yes, I'm okay with this.
Okay.
So.
Anyway, so let's see. Who else should we talk about?
I think we should just, like, since the other options are Xander and Spike, we should just dive into the actual A-plot because they're both tributaries of that.
That's fair.
So, Dawn has her first day of school and Buffy takes her, and I think Xander's in the car for some strange reason.
He's just constantly around.
Yeah. So they go in and the principal is black. Please don't kill this black person. Get more than 2 episodes with a black person in it.
Not the same black person. No, not without them dying. You're right.
Like, the only 2 I can think of off the top of my head are, that lasted more than 1 episode, are Kendra and the mayor's second in command.
Yeah. Because they have to be speaking roles, like with the Bedell cast.
Right.
Okay. So... Yeah, that's fair. Our history with people of color in Sunnydale is
not good. Y'all.
Not good. No.
So
no, indeed.
Yeah. So she arrives, and the principal has done some reading on Buffy, and I'm wondering if he has access to the classified files, because I don't remember the old principal, the one who got eaten by a snake. What was his name?
Oh, God, I don't remember him either. I know more about his actor than him.
Okay. So, there was a side conversation with a cop where...
Snyder?
May have been. Where he had this conversation. So, it was clear that the principal had knowledge of what was going on. Maybe not all of it, but definitely knew that there was some weird-ass shit afoot. Mm-hmm. I don't know if the security clearance of new principal is high enough to be read in here.
Well, he definitely knows that Buffy has a checkered past, but when she mentioned about Principal Flutie being eaten by students, he didn't seem to know what the hell she was talking about. Okay. So perhaps he's been given a sanitized version of those records.
Oh, or they could just, not tell that one. That one could be classified above him. Oh, yeah. You were in the Navy. There's different classifications.
Well, that's what sanitized means, Sweet Pea. When you sanitize something, you take out all the classified information.
Okay. Yep. Xander didn't eat him. No.
No, Xander managed to not eat any people while a hyena boy.
Right, but Oz did not.
Oz also has not eaten any people that we know of.
Really?
Yeah.
No, they were zombies.
Yeah, he other werewolves in town have totally eaten people, but not him.
Okay. Yeah, so she gives Dawn a cell phone.
Yeah.
Those 2002 flip phones.
At the time, that was slick, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, she gave her a decent one. Mm-hmm. Not a Razor or anything, but not the free phone.
Razors weren't till 05, I think.
You know what? Still.
Yeah. So, Dawn is having a first day of school, and she's having some visions of dead people.
Well, okay, Buffy sees the first vision of death.
Buffy does see the...
And then she runs into Dawn's homeroom class or whatever and totally embarrasses her, and that's about what you'd expect, honestly. So, yeah. I'm kind of okay with that. I think they played that pretty fun, and I liked that. And I also liked that, just that lots of people are seeing these, but not all right away. It's all people who don't have friends. Mm-hmm. They're specifically targeting loners.
Right. So we get, she goes and hangs out with a goth girl in the bathroom. Dawn does. Mm-hmm. And then they fall through the floor.
Like you do. Mm-hmm. I think Xander's been doing some shitty construction, and he's going to get sued.
Or he's going to get hired again.
Okay. I mean, it is a government contract. There's no rhyme or reason in that.
And also, it's not like this town doesn't have a very high incidence of shit just getting destroyed all the time.
That is fair. I mean...
Maybe he didn't do a shitty job. Maybe it's just a strong magic.
Maybe the foundation's slippery. Maybe he built it on sand. Who's to say?
It's we have an earthquake index but we don't have a magic index. Yes, this can take one Godzilla fucking it, but not 2. It'll collapse under 2.
Keep Mothra out until he's done.
So,
oh man. Okay, so they see dead people, and there's a talisman somehow, and it's not until they stumble upon Spike in the basement that they figure out what's going on.
Right. I want to talk about these characters first, though. I forget their names.
These Insta friends?
Yeah.
Kit and Carlos.
Kit and Carlos. Okay, so they're very clearly stand-ins for Xander and Willow.
Yeah.
But Carlos, just on the fact that he's kind of abrasive and we know he smokes, reminds me a little bit more of Jesse.
Yeah.
Remember him from the pilot?
Yeah, and just the pilot?
Yeah.
Never to be heard from again.
Oh, we heard from him. We heard from him in 6 Feet Under, remember?
That's true.
Yeah.
He was a fuck up then, too.
Yeah. So I really like that actor. I think he's really good. Yeah, and Kit is a goth girl, but so it's like they are Xander and Willow at further stages of development, I think.
Probably.
They're not as naive. They're not as childish. Yeah.
Well, they are from Sunnydale post Buffy. And let's face it, when Buffy came to Sunnydale, shit got real.
It did.
That's when things ramped up. It was kind of a regular town till then.
Yeah. So I actually, like, the talisman I remember Xander finding.
Yeah, he like, Buffy had seen it earlier in the day, so he just runs up to the girls' bathroom.
I don't know that I remember, or maybe they didn't tell me who activated it, though.
Ah, caught that, did you?
Yeah.
They did not tell us.
Okay. And then she also runs into Spike in the basement, who, like, this really kind of shattered a vampire thing that I didn't realize until now.
What thing?
I did not realize that their hair grows.
Oh, yeah. They have normal hair growth and stuff. It's not like Interview with a Vampire where anytime they make a change, it just goes back to whatever happened when they were turned.
Right.
No, they need haircuts and stuff like that. That's why that's why Angel has different hair sometimes. Like in flashbacks and stuff. He can grow it. And cut it, and then grow it some more.
But the Master had no hair.
But the Master had no hair. But the Master also didn't have a nose, and his ears were pointed.
Right.
Yeah. Like, there's a lot going on there.
So, yeah, Spike is kind of off his rocker.
Yeah, he's got some bugs in his head, like bats and belfries. Something fucked up has happened.
Yeah, which we don't know. Like, we saw him get a soul back. Mm-hmm. But...
Well...
I also had a realization here that it seems like with souls, Spike and Angel have switched personalities.
What do you mean?
Because when Angelus was a human, he was abrasive and loud.
Yeah.
And did not give a shit about anything.
And a
where
drunkard.
Spike was a whiny little MRA who talked about his feelings all the time.
And wrote poetry.
Yes. And now, once they have souls, they seem to have switched. Where Spike is the abrasive, I don't give a shit one. And Angel is talking about his feelings all the time.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the demon inside them fighting for equal time.
I just kind of want to, like... They got the wrong souls.
Oh.
Like, switched at birth, switched at death.
Oh, no! That would be a great show!
Yes.
I want to see that show. Guys, let's make a show! There'll be no fucking dragons in it.
Alright, and we have Spike's vision.
Oh, yeah.
So we get a parade of all of the major antagonists from every season. We get the Master, we get Drusilla, we get the Mayor, we get Adam, Glory, and Warren. There should probably be some more people on that list, but
they went with big bads.
Yeah, but Dr. Krause belongs there. Not Dr. Krause, I forget her name.
Dr. Like the chick that made Adam?
Yeah.
No. And Spike didn't really interact with her very much before she was killed.
So this is Spike... Spike never interacted with the Master either.
Yeah, but Spike's been around for, like,
so
a while.
He just knew the Master because everyone knows the Master.
Well, I mean, he's seen
like
at mixers and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, the big meetings and stuff, he had to be there.
Right.
He's the treasurer.
Okay. Fair. Yeah. So this is... But the fact that you threw that out there...
Yeah.
Suggests to me that this is Spike's insanity and not the presence of something else. Because what I understood that to mean is that the previous 6 were of some, like, pieces being moved.
Well, okay. You gotta think about it in broader terms.
Uh-huh.
What's scarier? Things you're familiar with turned against you, or things you've never seen before that are just after
It's not about scary, because you have revealed to me that because it matters that Spike has met them, this suggests to me that this is Spike's psychosis and not the message from an evil force.
Well, okay. But even if you were an evil force, you'd want to, and you're hunting around in someone's brain, you'd want to use stuff they're familiar with.
That only if you're trying to manipulate them.
Okay.
I thought that maybe one of them, like, they were trying to possess him.
Haven't seen anything that supports that theory, other than him being
well, not possess him, but use him, you know?
Okay, that's fair.
So if the goal here is psychological torment, yeah, you'd stick with things that he knows. But if that's not the goal, then it's less important. So.
Okay. Well, that's totes fair.
Also, Buffy gets offered a job.
Yeah.
Which she desperately needs.
It's not full-time, though. It's part-time. So she's still going to have to work at the Double Meat Palace. That bothers me.
I'm just, like, they still have Joyce's medical bills, don't they?
I don't know. All I know is that money's always tight.
Yeah,
and I hate that shit.
I don't think Joyce had the house long enough to have the mortgage paid off, so.
Probably not.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That
covers lessons.
That covers lessons, so.
Thank God.
Why thank God?
Because I'm tired of talking about it.
I liked it.
I liked it too, but just like I like a juicy steak, I get tired of eating it after a while and I want a taco.
Speaking of juicy steak...
Yeah.
Sidewalk worms.
Why? Why is this creature from Dune attacking Sunnydale?
We had an answer. So, I thought Nancy was going to be another potential slayer being hunted, and I'm just going to run with that for now.
Okay.
But no, her dog gets eaten, and she seems nonplussed about it. Maybe it was Ronnie's dog.
She hadn't had it for very long. She was trying to get it to, like, replace her relationship.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, this thing bursts out of the sidewalk and eats her dog, and then chases her to terra firma. And I forget how she hooks up with our Scooby Gang.
I think she just kind of runs into Xander or some shit.
Yeah.
I honestly don't care.
Yeah. So, the plot arc of this is that Nancy is being hunted by this dirt worm that is actually pretty gross, and I'm kind of liking the Jim Henson Creature Shop thing here.
Yeah. Yes. I love a good Muppet, you guys.
Yeah. Can I do a little sidetrack? So, one of the, like, as much as all of you love your fucking Avengers and stuff, it's the problem with writing around computer animation is that you have to start planning years in advance what the scene and storyboard is going to look like. So you end up with people in situations where they're not like, why is this terrible thing happening to this person? Because they had this great scene and a lot of work done, and it had to happen to a person. So we chose a random person, and that person gets a horrifying death. But with like the old school puppets, you had more freedom. Also, you didn't make mistakes like leaving coffee cups and water bottles on set. Because that's another thing I've heard, like with so much digital touching up, that people have just stopped
giving a shit.
Not giving a shit, but just paying attention.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they miss things because so much After Effects is being done anyway that, like, you're looking at a giant green screen anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
Why bother?
Right.
Yeah. That's fair, honestly. That's honestly the most fair defense of that I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, yeah, I kind of like this puppet work, even though we don't see a whole lot of it.
All right.
And there's another reason, like, when you spend a lot of time and energy on a puppet like that, you want to get more use out of it, so it gets a little more screen time.
That's fair. Yeah. I like puppets because I feel like the puppets, you know, like the actors and the puppets interact, mm-hmm. and that brings out a more genuine performance from each of them. Mm-hmm. You know, we all think about Yoda and Luke flipping around the forest. That would be a very different scene with the digital Yoda, as Hayden Christian proved to us much later. Christian something?
Hayden, I don't
whatever that douche's name is.
Don't call him a douche. Okay. Like, seriously. Like,
whatever that actor's name is.
He was poorly directed. Like, I've seen some of his other work. He's actually very good. This is just, he's not in a good movie. It's not written well.
That's fair.
So.
And it's hard to interact with a beam of light doesn't exist.
A tennis ball on a stick. You know?
But, you know, you have a whole fully formed Yoda there. I can act the shit with him. He's my bro.
So this worm is chasing her, and she eventually says that she's got a stalker ex-boyfriend who's trying to ruin her life, which is, I'm like, this made me not care at all when he got his ass stabbed.
Yeah, and, like, it's a shoulder wound, and yeah, it sucks, but you're gonna live. It's fine. Just
also, don't
bleed out.
Fuck with Nancy.
And also, don't fuck with Nancy. She'll accidentally turn you into a worm or whatever.
Right. And so they do some detective work, and they realize that this is the work of a demon of some kind. This is Wishverse magic.
Yes.
Which I'm really glad that Anya gets to do again. Mm-hmm. So there's a confrontation at the Bronze.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you feel about this conversation? It was like everybody has slept with everybody, and then I kind of liked when Xander and Spike looked at each other because there's clearly some sexual tension there.
So I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel both the sexual tension and her going, has everyone just slept with everyone? Because people ask that of me and my friends group. Not me in particular. I haven't slept with everyone.
To be fair.
But it does feel like everyone
You're
has.
lesbians.
Okay, to be fair, none of my friends are lesbians. None of them. I have like 2 lesbian friends, and they've only slept with several of the rest of us. But like, seriously, most of my friends have slept with most of my other friends, and it's just what it is when you've known each other this long.
Yeah, well, there's also, like, in queer communities, we don't have the luxury of really cutting our exes out, because then you've got to divide friends.
Oh, yeah.
And there's just not enough to go around.
One bad breakup couldn't split an entire community, you guys.
So, like, at some point, like, there is a community, not responsibility, but kind of expectation that you're going to get over it and, like, not, you know...
Basically, we recycle.
Right. So, yeah, these are difficult, like, navigating queer... All of you cisheads out there that are listening to this shit, take fucking notes. Because, like, this is a challenge they did not tell us about in gay school.
No.
Where it's like, you have a breakup, and you've got so many friends in common, and... Like, there's also just not enough queers to not be friends with any of your exes.
You're going to see them at parties
Yes.
and at Pride and at the club and at, like, your mom's house. And, like, they're just fucking everywhere. So, like, set your boundaries, but also figure out how to live with the fact that they're in your life forever. It's like having a kid together. It's just you have pride. You have rainbows.
Yep.
Damn it.
So we just need more gay people so that we can have breakups.
Let's take over the world.
So, yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Moving right along.
There's definitely sexual tension between Xander and Spike. Those two could hate fuck.
I think they could, and it would be real good.
I think it would be cathartic for both of them.
I feel like that's all Spike gets to do, though. He only gets hate fucks.
So?
Okay.
He enjoys it. Why does he care?
That's fair. But yeah, so also during this little thing where they're kind of confronting Anya a little bit, Anya realizes that Spike's different.
Yeah.
She could see it on him. She could smell it on him. And she
he-
starts to try and ask him. He's like, no, don't say things. And she's like, but it's good to know that she's still clueless even as a vengeance demon. Like, that wasn't a demon thing. That's just Anya.
I don't think she was clueless. I think she just doesn't give a shit.
That's fair. But
Like,
yeah.
why is she protecting Spike's secret?
Yeah, and so he's trying to get her to not say the thing and ends up smacking her one, and
she smacks him back. So
Yeah,
apparently
like
justice demons have some demon strength too.
that seems fair. And Buffy is looking at her as like, you're not different.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
He does manage to hit... he hits Buffy.
Mm-hmm.
Does he hit... When does he say, ow?
Oh, when he stabs the dude with the pipe.
That's right. Okay. So
yeah,
that happened later.
that's when he activates his chip and is like, ah,
Right. So he's
motherfucker.
got a soul and a chip.
And that's also when he starts going, like, off the deep end with the crazy shit.
Yeah.
Like, he was kind of handling it before that, but, like, once his chip kicks in and his focus is broken,
Mm-hmm.
he starts really wigging out.
So there's this giant fight, and then Nancy blows town because this is fucked up. And, like...
Oh, yeah.
You're right, Nancy. You need to get the fuck out of here because the Scooby Gang is bad news.
It really is, Nancy. Just blow town. It's gonna be fine. You don't even have a dog anymore. Just leave.
Right. So, Xander has to stay behind with Anya. Why that was the choice made, I don't understand.
Who's to say? I don't.
I guess
find any
Xander's
of
not
that-
capable of beating the worm.
Well, he is all soft and human-y and stuff. But yeah, he stays and they end up bickering about, the choices Anya's making. And she's like, well, it wouldn't be like this if you hadn't left me at the altar. And Xander has a good moment, actually, I think, where he says, you can only use that as an excuse for so long.
I fucking hated that. Like, this is her literal job.
Yeah.
This is her job.
Yes.
You do not get to second guess her. You are not qualified, Xander, to decide whether this is appropriate or not.
I'm pretty sure everyone gets to tell her to stop turning people into worms.
No. If
No.
they want her to stop, they have to kill her. That's the fucking rule.
Okay, maybe stop turning people into flesh-eating worms that terrorize Sunnydale. Like, don't shit where you eat. Can we compromise on that bit?
I don't know. Like, I really feel for Anya here. Like, I am on Team Anya as far as, like, I've got responsibilities. I am on another plane of existence. Your human lives are not worth anything to me because you shat all over me. I tried to be one of you.
Mm-hmm.
I lasted for a while, and it was nothing but pain. Right?
Okay.
We are not allies. Fuck the fuck off.
Okay, fair. I think you said it better than she did.
So...
Okay. So
and I'm okay with Anya either fucking off of the show or, like, actually being an antagonist who has to be put down. Like, this is where Anya needs to be. She was not good at being a human. This is her destiny.
Okay.
So as much as I like Anya, this is who Anya is.
All right, that's fair.
So,
let's see. Also in this episode, we see that Willow has completed her course of treatment and gotten her one whatever chip and is ready to come back to America.
mm-hmm.
And getting in a taxi. And that's
But Giles isn't coming with her.
But Giles is staying. Are you happy about it?
I am, but I'm also mad about it because, like, shit's coming. You need big guns. And Willow needs a handler.
Yeah. She's the one that needs a fucking watcher.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
Okay. So, let's see.
There's the final battle with, I almost called her Xena. Buffy doing the Indiana Jones thing and saving her swinging on a wire.
Yeah. Whatevs.
And Spike comes in to help, and he's about to stab this motherfucker, and it turns into a naked man.
Yeah, and then, that's painful for Spike and the man.
Yep.
And like I said before, he then, loses his shit, and Buffy's like, I don't have time to deal with your shit right now. I have to stop this bleeding.
Yep.
And that's, fair. But then Buffy chases Spike down later. Mm-hmm. And finds him in an old wrecked church. Or maybe it's not wrecked. I don't know. It's a church. There's crosses and shit.
I forgot about this church thing.
Yeah.
That was weird. I kind of blocked that out.
They have this conversation where Spike tells her about trying to become what she deserves and trying to give her what she wants. Or, everyone figures out that means what he thinks she wants, and he didn't realize it was going to be so painful and that would burn so much. And he shows his chest. He's got a bunch of scratch marks over his heart,
mm-hmm.
where he has apparently been trying to claw out the soul.
Right.
And he talks about stuff that Angel's talked about a little bit, how, you get a soul and then you suddenly remember every terrible thing you ever did as a vampire and have all of the guilt and moral implications of that. And
I want him to remember all the terrible things he did as a human and have all the implications of that.
The worst thing he did as a human was bad poetry. Okay, let's be fair.
I'm willing to put actual money down that he did some stupid fucking misogynistic neckbeard. I own a sword that I bought at the mall and pretend I got it in Kyoto. Shit. So.
That's,
I'm glad he doesn't have internet access because he probably would have trolled people.
Maybe, who's to say? Anyway.
We should ask Halfrick. She knows.
We should ask Halfrick because she was the one he was pining for. Anyway, it's neat that they're both in the episode again.
Yeah.
But don't interact, at all. Fun. But he kind of, tells Buffy, okay, fine. Yes. I went and I got a soul, and it hurts. It hurts inside me, and I did it for you, and I don't know if it's fucking worth it, but I just want to rest. And he does this thing where he hugs a cross and all kinds of stuff. I actually really like that image. Because it steams. It steams when he hugs it.
You fucking drama queen. Stop
it. He's totally a drama queen, but I kind of think that it's genuine from him.
I can genuinely not like him.
Oh yeah, you can still think he's
this is who you are, and I
him.
hate it. And it's
okay,
it overpowered the artistry of the shot for me.
Okay, what did you think of him trying out a new shirt in order to disguise himself and be a hero?
He looked good.
Yeah, he did. Blue's a good color on him.
Yeah,
and his hair was all done up nice. Yeah.
Yeah, in those ramen hair Backstreet Boys days.
Yeah.
So
that's how you do.
Anything else happen? Did we miss anything?
I think that's it for this. We had another Principal Wood sighting, and Buffy got her cubicle. That's it.
I don't remember that at all.
It was in the very beginning.
Okay. So those are our episodes, guys. It's really weird to be on season 7.
We're so close, guys.
Yeah. So
I'm so excited for what's to come.
I'm glad that you're excited because I was really dreading this and I thought that season 6 would be the pinnacle.
No, season 6 is It's painful. That's what season 6 is. It's painful.
Okay.
And you can interpret the word pain to mean all kinds of things.
Yeah. But today is Monday, May 20th, and you are not going to hear this for a while. And in an effort to be more transparent with you guys, because I know we have not been consistent about posting lately because of the great spoon shortage of 2019, I want to be clear. We are going to do this episode, and then we're going to do, next week we're going to do Angel, because we like to have a buffer.
Yeah.
And I am uploading the finale of Buffy tomorrow. So they are going to hear Buffy tomorrow, and then next week the finale of Angel. Okay. And I'm on vacation the first week in June. It's my annual trip to a place that most people don't like, but I'm out in a special... I'm going glamping, guys.
I was wondering why
in the Midwest.
Dancing around this.
I'm going glamping in the Midwest. And the Midwest is terrible, but I'm going glamping with really cool people, and we'll be away from other people. So.
In every red state, there's an island of gays.
Yes, although very few of them are actually gay. So.
Gays and allies.
Right. So... so I'm going to delay rolling this out until after that so that we have our buffer back. And I apologize because I know you guys want to hear how, and I kind of want to talk about the whole thing, and I kind of want to not have to vet everything I listen to if it has Buffy spoilers or not.
We're pretty close. And, you're going to love me. I already got the pictures for these episodes.
Oh, did you?
They're on Dropbox.
Okay.
Because I was bored today.
There's an ongoing thing, guys, where, I don't edit till the last minute, and then I say, bitches, I need the fucking pictures, so I have a preview picture. Because I can't Google it, because Google says, oh, you're interested in Buffy? Here's pictures from every episode of Buffy ever.
Yep. The struggle is real, you guys, because I am super lazy and don't want to be bothered.
And she kind of called me out one day, because I'm like, I've never seen any of the pictures I put when you posted in Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, because it's behind a fucking paywall and you have to log into Patreon to see it. And she's like, oh.
Well, it's also what's the fucking point then?
Right.
4 people are seeing these goddamn pictures. Why do we even need them?
They're also, everyone who's not, if you're not using Patreon, if you're using your regular RSS feed.
Yeah.
Or iTunes.
As I am.
Mm-hmm.
I use the RSS feed in order to get all of the podcasts for Unspoiled.
Also on YouTube, so.
Okay, well, there you go.
Hey guys, we're on YouTube. You don't care. If you're listening to this, you already have a preferred method of listening to podcasts. So you either already know the YouTube or you don't care.
They might need to tell their parents.
I don't want parents on YouTube.
That's fair. I don't want that. They might see the golden one. Oh, God.
Yeah.
You guys.
All right. So, we're hungry and tired, and we're still at the office. So,
yeah, we are.
We love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
That was an Unspoiled Network podcast.